Welcome back to another talking video. I haven't done one of these in a while. My idea was to do gameplay this month fully, but yeah, some things came differently, life happens, whatever, but I want to talk about something. Two things in particular, one today, one tomorrow. It's going to be about frustration today. How do I understand frustration? How do I think about it? My idea, frustration is similar to confidence. In my opinion, it snowballs in either direction. If you get confidence based on your own values, it will snowball into more confidence. And if you lose it and you get frustrated, that frustration will most likely lead to more frustration overall. And all of these emotions, which are difficult to detect, lead to a worse performance in League. That's why we even think about it. If we're thinking about a performance in anything, not just League, of course, but the idea is frustration can snowball into a positive as well. If it snowballs into a negative, usually you will get confused because you don't know what is even happening. And this confusion leads to frustration. You see it with everything. Even Ludwig, on his climb, you see him get very frustrated with the game and with people. And it comes from not understanding it. This is the same for me. I'm not saying I'm different. I'm just explaining maybe an example that you have seen, If you don't understand exactly the outcomes of your actions, or the outcomes or consequences of your actions, you will get frustrated. So how do we deal with it? We can only really deal with it by getting more experience, getting more understanding of the actual skill that we want to learn. It can be in everything, of course, not just League. Imagine just a social situation, you'll be very frustrated if you're not a good communicator with people, and that is a skill that takes time to develop. You need to learn a lot about yourself, you need to take personal accountability for a lot of things, and then you learn how to socialize in a way, right? That's for most people pretty early in their life. And if we want to apply it to League of Legends, it's the same thing. You have to learn what are the things that actually cause things to happen in a particular way. If we last hit minions, if we're in the side lane, team fight is breaking out, stuff like that. League of Legends is a very fundamental and basic game, and I want to talk about it tomorrow as well. The things that I think are important to focus on in League, especially if you've been playing for longer. League of Legends is going to be very difficult because the way the game is advertised and the way that content creators talk about it is completely warped, and it makes no sense. It's not like this is the new build, try it and you will be good at the game. It's like, play one character for 1,000 games and then you'll be good at fighting with that character. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. But in terms of frustration, that is also what you have to think about to understand frustration and deal with it. How can you deal with frustration in another way? Anything like just taking a break, focusing on something else, focusing on, taking a breather, go for a walk, meditate. Things like that can reduce frustration because your mind, like the emotional turbulence in your brain, will get decluttered, and that's gonna help a lot. Usually these videos tended to be very long, but I think with that I already said the core of the video, frustration. I think it's kind of a simple topic in understanding it and a very difficult topic in execution, so take of it what you want. I did one video on mentality, I think, where I linked books at the end that are very helpful for this kind of thing if you get frustrated a lot. And I can only recommend that video if you go back to the Understanding series and look at my, and there's one that has some books linked into it, and yeah, I think they will help with frustration as well. So I hope you all have a good end of the year somehow and don't get too frustrated like me, and have a good day, have a nice week, enjoy.